It's a hidden dragon world.
Wow.
There were dragons when I was a boy. Where they went, only a few know. Our story changed the world forever. We did it! The world's first dragon Viking utopia.
Your utopia, maybe. Mine's less crowded and more... sanitary.
Hey, bud, wait up! Oh my God, he's not the only one.
She's a light fury.
Oh, sorry.
Did she just disappear? Wow.
It's a hidden dragon world. Toothless, go introduce yourself.
Found my heart, broke it, made friends and lost them through the years.
Toothless has a girlfriend.
I've hunted every Night Fury except yours. Hand him over.
I will never give him up.
Then I will destroy everything you love.
We are no longer safe here. We all have to disappear, completely off the map. We have to fight for their freedom. Come on, bud!
You're nothing without your dragons.
Attack! Show them what you got, bud. Save him. It's you and me, bud. Always.
Wow.
It's a hidden dragon world. Toothless, go introduce yourself.
What's going on guys, it's the Entertainment Critica. Welcome to my first trailer breakdown for How to Train Your Dragon in Hidden World. Now I tried to do a trailer breakdown yesterday for this, but every time I tried to record this, something went wrong or I just couldn't record it. It was a lot of stress yesterday. I had my final 2 A-level exams today. I finished one of my A-levels now, so I should have more time to focus on making videos, hopefully. And I will try and get them videos up every other day. I'm not promising every other day, but I'll try and have more frequent videos than I have been over the last month or so, because they have been a bit sporadic of when I uploaded. But it's gonna be more frequent-ish now it's the summertime and I have a lot more time. Anyway, getting straight into this trailer breakdown, we start off with the opening scene. This is for scene from the very first movie, the Forbidden Friendship scene is actually called. And this is then overlaid with a voiceover of Hiccup saying, "There were dragons when I was a boy. Where they went, only few know. Our story changed the world forever." Now, this is directly taken from the opening of the first book, which was, I don't remember exactly what it's called. I know it's definitely not called, it's How to Train a Dragon, and they always had a little title underneath it. I don't exactly remember the exact title, but that direct quote was from the first book. And in the first book, this starts off as an old man version of Hiccup, looking back on his experiences as a child when he was with dragons and growing up. So, from a shot we also see in this trailer, I have a feeling that there's going to be a flash forward scene in this trailer, this movie, which is going to be Hiccup talking about how, like he said in the trailer, there were dragons when I was a boy, only few know where they went. So obviously, what he means by our story changed the world was him and Toothless, and that is why they used the Forbidden Friendship scene in that specific voiceover part, because the Forbidden Friendship scene is what changed Viking culture and everything on Berk forever because of what Hiccup and Toothless friendship did for the people of Berk. It essentially stopped the Dragon War on Berk specifically. Obviously now around the world there are still wars between people and dragons. We saw that in the second movie, but specifically Berk, Hiccup and Toothless changed them and made them realize that they don't have to fight these dragons, that they can be friends with them. And obviously we do get other shots of like Hiccup and Toothless flying over water, and then we do get the one shot that I wanted to focus down on, which I said a few moments ago about how this could be a flash forward scene, because we do see a shot of an older version of Hiccup. It looks like he's definitely got a beard, so that implies that he is slightly older, because from the shots we see later on in the movie, in the current times, he doesn't have a beard anymore. He just looks like a slightly more older version of what we had in the second movie, and I believe he was like 22 in the second movie. And if they go with the same time jump between the second and the third movie, I'm guessing it's going to be around 27, 28 going into this movie, which is one thing I do praise DreamWorks for is how good their animation style is. You can clearly see how much Hiccup has grown and aged throughout each movie. Like, first movie, he was like the outcast child, which you can see. And then the second movie, he's more growing into the leader. He's growing into less of an outcast and more the hero of Berk. And then going into the third movie, he is the chief of Berk. You can clearly see that he is distinguished. He has a distinguished figure, and that I really do like that about him. Obviously then, this then cuts into a shot of Berk, and we actually see that they've made the first dragon Viking Utopia, which they kind of made in the second movie, but this is more so. They have so much more set up. We can see there's a lot more dragons actually living on Berk now, which is interesting, because after they enter the second movie, obviously we see that Toothless becomes the alpha of all of the dragons, and then obviously I'm guessing that after the end of the second movie, all of the dragons and all of the Vikings came together and they helped rebuild Berk, because where they left off at the end of the second movie, Berk was essentially an ice kingdom after what the alpha for the previous alpha Bewilderbeast did to Berk. So I'm guessing after they fixed Berk, all of the dragons stayed around, and they stayed around to make their first dragon Viking Utopia. And then obviously we get the funny scene from Gobbers that this is maybe your utopia, but my utopia is more sanitary, because there's obviously a dragon in their food bowl, which is slightly disgusting, slightly cute. I don't know which one you want to go with, but anyway, this thing cuts into a shot of Toothless. He's running through the forest, and we see Hiccup's following him, and we actually see our very first shots of the new Light Fury, she's actually called. And I know I've said in previous videos female Night Fury, but at the time I didn't exactly know it was going to be called a Light Fury, so please forgive me for that. But we do now know she's called a Light Fury. And I'm guessing she's going to be called Luna, because from the first book, from the book series in general, the dragon that was the same species as Toothless was called Luna, and they have said, DreamWorks have said that they're pulling more from the books than they ever have before in any of the other movies, so I'm just guessing that based from logical guess that she's going to be called Luna. And the interaction and animation between Luna and Toothless, they look flawless, they look amazing, and she just looks amazing as well. And moving on, we do see like them interacting with each other, and then they do interact for a few seconds before Astrid and Hiccup interrupt them, and she gets spooked and flies away. And then something interesting happens. She doesn't just fly away. She like shoots a plasma blast fire thing, flies into it, and then just disappears. I'm not sure exactly what that is. If that was a thing in any of the books, which I can't remember, please do remind me in the comment section below, because that's interesting, and I really wonder how she does that, because it's not like obviously we're in superhero movies we can explain it for, oh yeah, that's just one of their superpowers. I genuinely don't know how she does that, and I'm interested to find out how she does. Maybe we'll find out in the movie, maybe we'll find out in the second trailer, because if you guys didn't know, well, the way movies work is the second trailer is generally more of the story trailer. We find out more of the background story. Now in this trailer we do find out quite a few story details that is going to be happening in this movie, so I don't know what more we can find out in the second trailer that won't give it away. So I'm thinking maybe the second trailer is going to be more focused around some maybe action scenes, maybe a few character moments, but it won't be as much as what we got this time. I have a feeling the next trailer might be a lot shorter. This trailer was about 2 minutes and 45 seconds, and I have a feeling the next trailer will probably be a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes long, because that was a lot of footage to show through the first trailer. And I'm not complaining that they showed that much footage, but like I don't think they're going to show that much footage again, because there is only a limited amount of footage they can show in trailers, because all trailers are supposed to do is to get you into the movie theaters watching the movie, rather than they're not going to give you the whole movie in the trailer, which granted some movies do give away most of their plot details in the trailers, but DreamWorks are smart, and I don't think they would do that with How to Train Your Dragon, because this is one of their most popular franchises that they've ever had, and this movie is one of their most anticipated movies they've ever had. I think if they ever did a Kung Fu Panda 4, because I knew there's a Kung Fu Panda 3, that kind of was kind of bad, but if they do a number 4, that might be more anticipated. But I know How to Train Your Dragon is definitely one of their most popular franchises. I could see that from the response I got from my video I did a few weeks ago about the potential leak scene that we saw, which we actually saw snippets of that scene that I was describing in that video in this trailer, where Luna and Toothless were interacting with each other, and they said it was kind of like the forbidden friendship scene, and I can kind of see where they're going from. I'll get into that later when we get into that part of the trailer. But anyway, moving on, the next shot is of Hiccup and Astrid flying out what appears to just be Stormfly. So I'm assuming this is where Toothless goes missing, because we did see in their brief synopsis they released for the trailer that Luna will like drag or like lure Toothless away from Berk. So I'm assuming that Hiccup and Astrid go looking for Toothless on Stormfly, and they end up finding Hidden Ward, and the Hidden Ward is actually hidden in the middle of the ocean. There's like, we see a shot of it in the trailer. It's like this circular waterfall-ish in the middle of the ocean, and I'm assuming they go down into it, and it's like a cavern cave system. And from the poster as well, we can see that there are like stalagmites, and like there are parts that we can see it can be aquatic. And from Luna's look, she could be an aquatic dragon. I know Toothless isn't necessarily an aquatic dragon. He doesn't seem to be designed that way, but the way Luna is designed, she could be designed in the way that she could swim in water, because of how pristine and how like shiny she is in a way, and how like she doesn't have like the scaly, well, she kind of has a scaly skin, but it's more of a smoother outer body than Toothless has. So she could be more designed for aquatic swimming, but I'm not entirely sure. We will have to find out through more trailers we get, or when the actual movie comes out. But then moving on, obviously we see them flying through the Hidden World, and we see fireworms and all sorts of different like visuals, and I'm just gonna say now, Stormfly looks beautiful in this. I don't know if that's just the effect of the Hidden World, but if that's gear she has on, it looks really good, and the animation styles look really good on her, and the updated designs look really good as well. And then obviously the visuals of the Hidden World look amazing, and we then cut to a shot. It seems to be at like a lakeside, and I'm not sure if this actually takes place in the Hidden World. Maybe it's just before the entrance to the Hidden World, but it's on some kind of covey system, and we see that Luna is actually stood by the water, and Hiccup tells Toothless to go introduce himself, and obviously he fails epically. He tries to like stride down the cliff and ends up like losing his footing and just goes rolling down in front of her. And just the look on her face, I love the way they portray the look on the dragon's face. They give them personality, which is one of the things I love about this thing. They're not just another thing within the world. They are their own characters, and they have their own personalities, especially from Toothless. You could see that in the first and second movie. He has his own personality, and so do all of the rest of the dragons. And you can see that Luna herself does have her own personality, even though you could technically say that she is the plot dragon in this movie. She is the dragon that drives the plot forward, but it does seem to be that she has her own personality just from the facial expressions you get. And she has quite a kind of like feisty personality as well, because when Toothless is trying to attempt to flirt with her, she just ends up beating him in the face and like basically saying no, don't do that. I really do like their interactions with each other. It does show that they are actual, not people, but they are actual living things, and they do have normal interactions, and they're not just something that's used within the world. They are their own thing, which is something that I do like. And obviously, it is cute to see Toothless fail, but it's kind of sad at the same time, because you want them to get along, and they do end up getting along throughout this trailer, because one of the very next few shots is Astrid saying Toothless has a girlfriend, so we do know from this trailer that they do end up getting together, and I have a feeling by the end of this movie that Hiccup and Toothless are going to split up, and if the leaked score that was actually being spread around recently is true, there is a song on it called The Final Flight, and I think there's another song called My Best Friend, so I am assuming that they are going to part ways by the end of this movie, and that Hiccup and Toothless are going to say goodbye to each other, and Toothless is going to depart to the hidden world with his new lover Luna, and maybe they're going to have a baby Night Fury, or baby, I don't know what we call, because Toothless is called a Night Fury, and then obviously we found out Luna is a Light Fury. I don't know what they would make. I don't know what it would be called, but I don't know. Maybe you guys can theorize down in the comment section below. That would be quite cool to see. Anyway, moving on. The next shot is of the main villain, who is actually called Grimmel, and he does, yes, I will admit, he does seem like a very generic villain, but I don't think it's really the villain that is going to be the main driving factor of this movie. I don't think the villain is going to be the main focus. Yes, he will be the cause that separate the dragons and the Vikings, because we do see in later shots that Hiccup says that we're no longer safe here, we have to disappear off of the radar completely, which seems to be that Hiccup's original plan was to move into the hidden world with Toothless and everybody else on Berk, but I have a feeling that something is going to happen which causes them to split up, part ways. Maybe something happens between Luna, or maybe there's just not a strong enough relationship between Dragon and Viking in the hidden world, so it just doesn't work out, and so just the dragons have to disappear into this hidden world, which is something that is sad, and I really don't want to see it happen, and we do know this is going to be the final movie, so we do know that Hiccup and Toothless are definitely going to split up in this movie, and like I said previously, if this leaked soundtrack is true, then there is a Final Flight song on this soundtrack, so it will be their last movie together. And then we do get shots of Grimmel saying that I've hunted down every Night Fury. This is generic shots, like and then Hiccup's like, I will never give him up, and Grimmel responds with, then I'll take away everything you love. So that is kind of a generic villain line that most villains say, but I do like the voice acting on Grimmel here. He does seem intimidating, and if they can give him more powerful lines throughout this movie, I will like him as a villain. I loved Draco Bloodfist as a villain. He had a really interesting backstory because he actually had a horrible past with the dragons. He had a legitimate reason to hate the dragons and he wanted to control them. I have a feeling Grimmel's ultimate goal is to kill all of the dragons, and I know that is really dark for Disney DreamWorks movie. I almost said that. Okay, yeah, a DreamWorks movie, but I do feel that Grimmel's main goal will be to kill all of the dragons, and that is why all of the dragons have to disappear into this hidden world. And we do get a shot of Luna. She's actually been kidnapped or captured and put in a cage by Grimmel, so I have a feeling that she's going to be used as lure to try and get Toothless to come and save her, because he knows he wants Toothless. He's hunted every other Night Fury, which kind of explains why there's no other Night Furies in existence, because I think they're going for the fact that Grimmel has captured or killed all of these Night Furies, and he was just looking for Luna and Toothless, and the fact that he's captured Luna now, he's going to use Luna to try and capture Toothless, so he has the final two remaining Night Furies that we know of. Obviously, that we thought Toothless was the last remaining Night Fury, but then Luna came along, so there could be other Night Furies out there somewhere. I'm not saying there definitely isn't, but the only two Night Furies we know that are in existence, well, Night Fury and Light Fury, are Luna and Toothless, and she has now been captured by Grimmel, and obviously it seems that she is going to be used to try and capture Toothless, and we do see shots of them assaulting what appears to be Grimmel's fleet of boats, and Toothless and Hiccup have these awesome shots together. We see one where Hiccup and Toothless are walking through the flames together. There's another one where Hiccup and they're flying, and she shoots, I believe, yeah, so she shoots a plasma blast at the boat and then blows it up. And yeah, this then progresses into a shot of Hiccup and Luna, which is suggesting to us that something has happened to Toothless, that Hiccup and Luna actually have to team up And we actually hear Hiccup say save him, so she then does that thing where she fires the plasma blast and she flies into it and disappears. Still have no idea how she does that. Like I said, if you guys can explain in the comment section below, that is one of the few things I don't understand in this trailer, how she does that. But yeah, if you guys can explain that in the comment section below, that would be very much appreciated. But anyway, moving on, we then do get various shots, like I said, of Hiccup and Toothless flying together. We get a shot of Hiccup and Astrid actually holding hands together, and we don't actually get to see their hands. And we know, if you saw Dragon's Race to the Edge, we do know between the movies they do get engaged to each other, or the Viking version of engaged to each other. So I don't know, I'm hoping that they might actually be married in this movie, but I'm not so sure about that. Anyway, moving on, we do then get a shot of something that is really interesting. We see a shot of Toothless, but he's like drawing lightning around him, and it looks like he's about to fire a lightning shot, and that's kind of reminiscent of what the Skrull can do. And it has been long theorized that the Night Fury and the Skrull are distant relatives, and this could further prove that the Night Fury and the Skrull are in the same species, like not the same species, but they have similar traits that they share between each other. So maybe Toothless, in his new alpha mode, he develops the ability to draw lightning like the Skrull can and fire electrical blasts. And maybe this is done in like a crisis moment, so we do see that he is on his own. There's no saddle on him either, so I'm assuming this is after him and Toothless have split from each other, and they're just fighting as solo, not Dragon and Ryder. They're just fighting alongside each other, and he gets this new ability to try and defend the hidden world. I'm thinking that is the only thing I can explain, to try and defend either Burke or the hidden world from Grimmel. That is the only way I can explain this. And then obviously this cuts to How to Train Your Dragon and Hidden World logo, and like most trailers do, we have an after logo scene, and this one is actually quite cute and funny, is where Hiccup, Luna and Toothless are in the same shot together, but Hiccup is off in the background, and he's like giving tips for Toothless to what to do to try and impress her, and he like does this hat waving wing movement for Toothless, and Toothless tries to copy it, and he makes this really weird movement across the screen and he makes this noise, and he's trying to impress her, and the look on her face is just like, what the hell are you doing? He's like, he is trying so hard to impress her, she just does not having any of it, and it is really funny to see play out. He's trying so hard to get her attention, and it's just not working, even though we do know by the end of this film they will end up getting together, because that was already confirmed by this trailer. So anyway, that was my trailer breakdown and my analysis of the How to Train Your Dragon the Hidden World trailer 1. If you guys enjoyed this video, please do hit that like button. Your support is very much appreciated, and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.